Like, broke, no job, and he doesn't buy me anything.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
So he's like not materialistic,
That's what I was thinking.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
He does not care about that shit.
Oh my girl, the other day I like asked him why he's coming home so late, and he got mad and he punched the wall.
No way.
Yeah.
He's like strong then.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's a big hole.
Oh my gosh, like punching my hole.
When he goes out, like, he just doesn't respond to me at all. Like, sometimes his location's off.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know.
So he like loves to live in the moment.
That's what I'm
my. So I'm gonna say like damn girl. Bitch, he has like a bunch of his ex's names tatted all over him.
No.
He even has the lips on his neck.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is like kind of romantic.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh my gosh. Bitch, and I grabbed his phone the other day and he like freaked the fuck out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know.
So he like respects his privacy a lot. Oh my gosh.
He actually respects his privacy.
Oh my. I found out that he has no job.
No.
I know.
So he has like mad free time for you guys to spend together.
No. Oh my gosh. I have a Nora Smith.
Go off, Nora. Go off, Nora. Lately, every time we've been hanging out, he's like hiding his phone when he's around me.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
So he's like planning a surprise for you, isn't he?
That's what I was thinking. I didn't want to say it.
The other day, I found out that like he's addicted to crack.
No way.
Yeah.
So like when he starts something, he doesn't want to finish. We love a passionate man.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Go
it's so
off.
hot.
Shoot it. I checked his bank statements
Oh my gosh.
and he was subscribed to like 2 OFs. I know.
Oh my, so he supports like strong, independent women.
Yes, he does.
What?
Go off, Nick Cannon.
Oh my gosh, alright bitch, are you dating Mr. Beast?
Y'all, I wish this was a joke. I wish but why is this so real and so true? This is exactly how women lie to themselves, delude themselves, and end up in all type of abusive situations that they had no business being in. Why is this so true? Why did I literally roll on the floor laughing when I saw this? It's so sad. Let's not do this, okay? This is literally, ladies, this is how stupid you look. Honestly, no cap. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You know, I'm not here to lie to you. You know what I mean? My delivery can be really straightforward sometimes, but I feel like these ladies, that's what y'all need, because otherwise you are in Delulu land sometimes, you know? But this is literally how dumb and stupid and idiotic you look when you let these type of words come out of your mouth. You look ridiculous and pathetic, okay? You look ridiculous and pathetic. Don't do it, okay? Learn from it and don't do it ever again, okay? Don't do it ever again, okay? This is every time you make excuses for him, because you as a woman should not be making excuses for no male, okay? That's not your job. That's not why you're here on planet Earth. So any type of excuses that you're making, it doesn't matter how good you think it sounds. This is what you really look like. This is how dumb you really look, okay? You're welcome. I love you too. You're welcome. Leave different comments in the community section. And to be honest with you, I love that community section so much because I feel a little bit freer, because I feel like there's not as many eyes on the community section. So I, a lot of times, will let loose a lot more in my community section on my YouTube channel, just because it's like, oh my gosh, I can really say almost anything, and there's not that many people here, and I'm naturally introverted. So I just love the community section because I'm like, I be going in my community section sometimes, and then I'm like, okay, girl, relax, calm down, okay? But anyway, yeah, I recently posted something in regards to this, similar to this, in relation to this aspect of women that lie to themselves, literally. It's like you can only blame the male species so much when you're sitting there literally actively lying to your own self. So that's what we're going to see more of in this podcast. It's about to be crazy, y'all. What we're about to see and hear more of in this podcast, y'all. When I say, oh my gosh, I could not like breathe. Like I didn't even understand what I was listening to, but I was like, this is totally insane. This woman tells the story and tells her story of just literally step by step how she lied to herself all throughout her relationship with this male. It's wild, y'all.
Beginning of this week, I had never even heard the names Brooke Schofield and Clinton Kane, okay? Literally had never heard of them, and that's not shade to them. We all know our FYPs are very individualized, and up until now, my FYP had never served me not one video of the two of them, but now, that was the before times. Here in the after times, I feel like Brooke and I are besties, okay? I feel like we grew up together. That's how deeply invested I am. And the best part of all of this is usually when I engage in the mess, which is frequently, there is a small part of me that feels guilty, right? Because, you know, these are real people and their real lives. So when I'm gossiping and kikiing, I do feel a little bit guilty. But here, what we have here are two very willing participants in the mess. And we know this, obviously we know this for Brooke because she made a 15-part series, but see, we also know it for Clinton because he kicked it off. He kicked it off by attempting to market his new single by shading Brooke, okay? That was your marketing strategy. And look, I love it. You like it, I love it. But that means you're a willing participant in this mess. And you know what that means? I get to gag and giggle and gossip guilt-free.
Brooke Schofield came to the restaurant that I used to host at in LA while I was hosting, obviously. And I knew who she was. I saw her name. I was like, oh, cool. Like, I think she's cute. I like her. I wasn't like a fan or anything. I wasn't super dialed into her life. But I saw that it said anniversary on the reservation notes. And I was like, oh, I didn't know she had a boyfriend. And I feel like that would have been something I would have known. So in my head, I was like, is this like a secret? Like, do I get to see her secret boyfriend? And I don't think she was trying to keep it a secret, but I think maybe subconsciously she was trying to keep it on the down low because that wasn't on my radar at all. Anyhow, they come in and I was like, is something like, did the boyfriend not come? Because who is that guy? Like, there's no way. Whatever, we've all sort of been there. So I sat them and the tension, you could cut it with a knife. It was palpable. I remember just thinking like, oh my gosh, is this a joke? Like, is this really their anniversary? Because you could tell there was something going on. And I just remember they left probably within an hour, I think. And I just remember thinking like, this isn't all right. They are going to break up. This is like, definitely something is wrong. And I was just the host that saw them for 5 minutes.
Hola, 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 mis amores. Hi, my loves. How are you doing today? So I'm back with another podcast. Super, super excited about this one, y'all. Also, side note, in the last video where we're talking about males and how all males in the 90th percentile of males are jealous of women, I mentioned how I was thinking, why do I keep calling this a video when this is actually a podcast? And I did see some of the responses from y'all saying that you would consider it a commentary or you would consider it a video / podcast. Y'all, this is primarily a podcast. Now, a commentary is more of a description. It's not a category in and of itself, right? So a commentary can come in the form of a podcast. A commentary can come in the form of a video. It can come in different forms. So it's more of a description of the type of content. It's not the category of the content itself, if that makes sense. So this is a podcast. And the type of podcast it is would be a commentary. I think I could definitely see that for sure. But I don't know. That's what I was processing. I don't know, y'all. But leave it in the comments below what your thoughts might be on that. Okay. So anyways, I digress. So on this channel, we talk about anything and everything related to women. So if that's your vibes on a regular basis, we talk about anything and everything related to women. So if that's your vibes, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Go ahead and smash the subscribe button for me, and go ahead and hit that bell button for me so you get a notification every time a new podcast is uploaded. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Also, y'all, by the way, don't forget that there is 4B movement, 4Bear support merchandise that is now available in our store. And I'll put the link to our store here if you want to check out some of the merch that we have. A lot of it is currently sold out, but you can definitely pre-order. And in the next week or two, we'll be doing the next round of shipments. I'm so freaking excited because it's like taking the movement to the next level. You know what I mean? Like really building and continuing to build on this movement and show that solidarity and support in pretty much every facet. So there's all type of awesome merch here, like that is 4B, 4Bear related. And so don't forget to check that out and put in your pre-order. And also sign up for the blogs, y'all, because there's a new blog that's dropped every single week. That blog is so lit, so informative. Like it gives you information on 4B, child-free movement, any recent news that might have come out. You will see that in the blogs section when it drops every single week. So in order to receive a notification every time a new blog comes out, make sure to subscribe to the blogs section. Okay. All you got to do, I think, is put in your email and you're good to go, girl. Okay. So let's dive into it. Let's get into it. Oh my gosh. So
Enough when it comes to this whole Clinton Kane situation is that we as women need to stop giving ugly men a chance with us. And when I say us, I mean you and me, the pretty bitches. Brooke, you are the finest, most baddest bitch to ever walk this motherfucking planet. And you let Winnie the Pooh with the ball cap stress you out like that? And I can't, and I understand. We've all been there, pretty bitches. We've all been there where we let the ugly guy with the great personality into our life, into our circle, into our vibration, into our thoughts, into our mind, into our energy. And what do we get out of it, girl? They treat us the worst. You give an ugly man a chance, they treat you the worst. You think, oh, because I'm the best bitch that he ever gonna meet, he gonna treat me good. No! That's for him to show out and be like, I'm gonna treat her like shit. I can't. And every time I look at him, I'm just like, ew. Justice for my sisters. This should start a revolution. This should start a revolution for women. For us to be like, you know what, you uggos? Stay over there. Stay away. Stay away.
I learned when you have to talk yourself into liking a guy, it always ends badly. Oh yeah. Every single time. No, but this is so true because this happened to me and it was the worst decision ever. Even more embarrassing at the end. And that's so real. It's so humiliating. Like, seriously, you did me like this and I had to hype myself up to even like you? Y'all, the mental gymnastics and lies women will tell themselves for a dusty, ugly male, a male that's not even good looking. What I need us to understand, ladies, is that males that are not good looking have just as much, if not more, audacity than the good looking ones do. So there's no lie that they won't tell. There's no stone that they won't try their best to flip over despite their lack of strength, right? There's no hoop that they won't jump through any means necessary to deceive women. That's really what it comes down to. Like, they're desperate. They're desperate. Think about it. When you lie about something like this, like, oh, my mom's dead and look, like I have no relatives, and they're preying on your emotional empathy. So the thing is, the male species is very well aware of the fact that women are born as empathetic creatures. We're born with empathy. It's not something that we have to learn usually. It's just something that it comes to us innately. So they're so well aware of this that they are using it when it comes to, seeking out prey, aka women, because women are nothing but prey to these male species. So when seeking out prey, one of the tactics that they use to get their prey and hook their prey is all of these extreme, nonsensical, unimaginable lies. But keep in mind, they're only unimaginable to us women because we can't even fathom. It's like, what kind of lie is that to say your whole family is dead and they're still alive? Like, we all know the power of words, right? Like, when she speaks something out into the world, that's it. That's it, y'all. Okay, I was in my yard once, not even once, like, it's just like during spring this year. I was in my yard and I had put some stuff, like I put some furniture on top of my grass, and I couldn't sleep for like 2 days. I couldn't sleep all that well for like 2 days. You know why? Because I kept thinking, I don't want to put furniture on top of my grass because then my grass won't be able to grow. It's not a good idea. I need to move that furniture. I put it there because I didn't know where else to put it. So I finally moved the furniture off the grass. And of course, as I knew, the grass underneath the furniture was dead. And I was looking dumb because I was like, okay, now there's like this patch of grass in the middle of my yard that is dead because I put furniture on top of it knowingly. So every time I would go outside to my yard, I would speak out to my grass and say, grow, 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 grow. Like, I can't wait for you to grow back. Y'all, like a crazy person. And of course, in a few weeks or whatever, my grass starts growing back. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, it's working, it's growing. So I would praise it out loud. I'd speak it out every time I saw it. And I would praise it for growing every time I saw it. Well, little did I know that what was growing was weeds. Y'all, I can't make this stuff up. Like, I had, by the time I turned around and went back outside a few weeks later, my yard was covered with weeds. I almost died. So I wasn't being specific enough with what I was speaking, what I was putting out there into the world, into the universe. And guess what it gave me? Weeds. Because I was just saying in general, just give me whatever. So when you're not specific with what you want, right? This is what happens. But we all know the power of words that are spoken out loud. So, think about how unhinged a male has to be to utter these lies out loud. It's wild, y'all. Trying to tell yourself and your friends it's his personality. And then it turns out that the worst part about him is his personality. He has the worst personality that has ever existed. Yes, girl. This whole concept is why your relationship failed. What? If you didn't really like him to begin with, that disrespect and energy will be sensed and reciprocated. What? This is a dusty mail. Oh gosh. We have to crop that out. Yep. 3 years of pain, almost 4. Had a kid born after the 3 years went downhill to the 4th worst. Just love yourself, guys. Goodness.
Okay, part 3, who the fuck did I marry? All right, so After the club, he and I went alone to a little diner in LA called Mel's Diner. It's 24 hours. You can go after the club, get fries, shakes, whatever. And he and I order literally every single thing on the menu, and we sit there for like 4 hours and just talk, okay? And this is the point where he tells me about what had happened to him in the year prior, all right? This would have been, I guess, 2020, like during COVID, okay? He tells me his mom, his dad, and his brother all died in the same year, okay? Which is fucking horrible. Like, obviously just unimaginable. So I'm like blown away. I knew that his mom had died because he had openly talked about like how one of his songs was about her and stuff, but I had no idea about the rest of his family. So I was like, holy shit, first of all. And I feel like I completely changed my opinion about him because I'm like, at this point, I'm thinking he's just like this weirdo sliding into my DMs, and now he's very like human to me because I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe you could overcome something like that. Like, that's insane. This is very important to the story, okay? Because I need you guys to understand how I ended up in this scenario. Like, he's telling me how he was homeless and he would backpack around Europe, like literally sleep on benches and busk, like in parks, to make money, and he got discovered, whatever. And then obviously, I guess I'm in Love came out and he was really successful from that song. But I'm just looking at this guy like, I have never met anybody like you, because first of all, I could never be touring a year after like that kind of extreme tragedy, first of all. Second of all, you would never catch me dead sleeping on a bench on purpose. So I was like, this guy's really like special.
And the next day, he calls me and he says, I am so sorry and I'm so afraid to tell you, but I just got on set for my music video and I tested positive for COVID. Obviously, I had just like had this whole extravagant date with him the night before. I would 100% have COVID. We were like making out on the beach the whole night, which is like traumatizing but true. Okay, so I'm like, this man gave me COVID. And he's like, there's nothing I can do. I'm so sorry, but like, obviously we both have it. So I'm quarantining at the one hotel if you want to come and stay with me. So I was like, I mean, like, fuck, like I have COVID now. I have 2 roommates. Like, guess I gotta go. I don't know. Again, unmedicated. I show up to the hotel, okay? And I move in with the man.
Y'all, when I say there's nothing, these dusty parasitic males will lie about being sick, okay? They will lie about being sick. This male literally just lied about having COVID and tells her, hey, I have COVID, so you probably have it too, just to get her stuck in a hotel room with him. You can't make this stuff up. So when a male starts talking about how, oh, woe is me, look at my life, look how it's all predator behavior. You can't have no empathy for a male species. You cannot do it. It is too dangerous. And if you have any empathy for the male species, you need to do it from afar, because there's no reason why you should be sacrificing yourself because you're empathizing with somebody else. That makes no sense. Not to mention the male species is completely delusional. So they lie about anything and everything. Nothing is off boundaries to them when it comes to the lying. Like nothing. And then they'll turn around and harass women about wearing makeup, tell women, oh, well, you know, you wear makeup and weave and hair, like it's all a facade, it's all a lie. When these males blatantly lie about being sick, they blatantly lie about their parents and their entire family having been unalived in the same year. Like they'll literally lie about stuff like that. A few years, like not a few years, this was actually a long time ago, in my early 20s. I swear there was a male that lied about his father needing like groin surgery for something. I still feel like that was a lie. He never fessed up to it, but even then I felt like it was a lie. But they put you in this awkward situation where you don't want to be a bad person by asking them if they're lying about it in the moment, because what if they're not? So it really, really puts you in an awkward position. You see, that's what predators do to capture prey, to defeat prey, which is how the male species views women. Y'all, 4B all the way, because if you're not 4B, this is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with predators whose only intent is to prey on something that you're born with, innate empathy. Because women are the ones that birth and bring children into the world, so that empathy is innate. And for women that don't have it, it's usually because they lost it due to the external environment, the patriarchy. It's wild.
We are not separating, so I have no opportunity to view his online presence, all right? Because that is another really important factor to the story, because had I seen the shaking that was occurring, I might have thought differently. Hearts don't feel, even if we love so hard, we know there's no coming back. And I don't wanna live in the world without you, and all I'm thinking, but okay, but he's in person, he's really normal, he's charismatic, he's Australian, he's a beautiful musician, he's singing to me and playing guitar every night. I'm like, you know what? I'm falling for him, okay? I know, but you asked. As more time passes, we eventually move to like an Airbnb in Marina Del Rey because he wanted to be by the beach. And so we go over there. And this man is not allowing me to go home, okay? This was the first major red flag. Like if I had a morning where I was like, okay, like I want to go home and like get new clothes and shower and like just be a human and be alone for a second, he would immediately like shut down. Like, why don't you want to be with me? Why would you want to go home? Can I come with you? Like just very strange. And I did not like that. A normal person would have seen this as like a big, major, like no in a relationship, okay? But I am not a normal person. So I was like, he wants to be with me all the time. He is obsessed with me. Of course. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, I believed it was a good thing at the time, all right?
Y'all, it's just like the intro video. When I saw that intro video, I was like, but no. But why is this so accurate that it's sad though? Why is this so accurate that it's sad though? This is what women do every single day. It's honestly, mind blowing. She literally just said it. That's literally what we saw in the intro video, where it's like, what? Girl, he's not letting you leave. He's holding you hostage. And somehow your mind computes that as, oh my God, he just loves me so much. Girl, what? But why is this so accurate that is so sad? A lot of women don't get out of this for years and years and years and decades. Some never make it out. Some never make it out. You know why? A lot of times, by the time she figures out the delusion that she put her own self under, you know, she has like several years invested already. And she's unable to then separate the emotions from reality, from what she wished that she had. She can't separate the two. because her mind is not strong enough. And all of those years will further cheapen and weaken her mind. So she has no way out because she's just, a simple way of saying it, not strong enough. So she stays there and it's a wasted life. You waste away, you die, that's it. Wild, y'all. Think twice. 4B all the way. This is what you're risking. This is what you would be dealing with. This is what the marriage institution was put in place for. It's to cage you. This is what religion was put in place for, a tool of the patriarchy to cage you. Y'all, don't say you weren't warned.
We were all hanging out together all the time, and when Clinton maybe wasn't around, I would have these people in my ear like, Brooke, if you do not date this man, you are so stupid. First of all, he's gonna be huge, he's so talented, he's so special, he has the most amazing story, you have to date him, okay? And one thing about me is I'm easily influenced, so I start dating.
This is such an important point, because what I feel like a lot of ladies don't understand is that you can't afford to literally talk to anyone, because the pathway to a woman's consciousness and decision making and very being is words. Women are attracted and seduced by words. And you as a woman need to understand that. Because if you don't understand that, you'll fall for anything and everything, because you'll just be listening to anyone and everyone. Because you're allowing anyone and everyone in, listening to all these words, and you'll be confused as a very being. We have to be super choosy about who we allow anywhere in our vicinity, because words is the ultimate form of seduction for women. Versus for males, it's looks, right? It's what did they see? What's the illusion that they can see? It's looks. For women, it's words. So if you have family members, if you have friends that are not it, and you haven't properly vetted them, and some ladies don't even know that their family members and friends are not it. So that's the sad part, because there's so much work that you'll have to do. Oh my God, it's going to be so hard. But it's better for you to start than not, because the last thing you want to do is waste your life because you were too lazy to do the work. Okay? So you'll have family members, you'll have friends, and they'll all be telling you the same thing and the same negative consequence and advice. Because most likely, if you haven't done the work, you are attracting the same type of people. So of course you'll be hearing the same type of bad advice from every angle. You know what I mean? So, duh. So you have to do the work of cleansing your space. It's way more important to cleanse your space for ladies, which is why, again, I stress the 4B movement. What? We have women out here that have been doing this thing for years. There was just no label, but the label is hella important. It's hella important because it creates a movement. Labels are how society communicates. That's how society tries to communicate. You know what I mean? They label everything. People love labeling everything. It's good and bad, but in this case, it creates unity, a movement. It creates a large number or group of women consciously moving towards the same direction, as opposed to what was happening before, where all the women were doing it, but on a group level, they were doing it from an unconscious state of being, because one woman will be doing it, but we don't know if the next woman is doing it. We're just doing it for us, which is good, because that's the way it starts. And then we come together as a collective whole, which is where we're at now. You know what I mean?
We are now in a committed relationship, all right? And one thing about Clinton is he loved to go on a trip, all right? He wanted to get me as far away from everybody else as possible. So this time it was Joshua Tree. On the way there, we get pulled over. In his car, he drove a Model X at the time. And when the cop asked for license and registration, he gave his license, his Australian license, and he gave the registration to the car, which was not his car. So I thought that was strange. And then the cop is like reciting his information back to him, and he says, "You were born in 1999. And I am under the impression that my boyfriend is a year younger than me, okay? And this would make him like 4 years younger than me. I'm like, that's really strange. But we keep going, and I ask him about it, and he's like, oh, like, that's a fake ID. I got it mixed up. We got lucky. And I'm in my head like, that doesn't happen, but whatever. Also, who has a fake ID to appear younger? Anyway, we go to Joshua Tree, and we have this whole little trip, whatever. We're barbecuing and hot tubbing and having this whole little couples vacation, okay? And everything is going perfect until the nighttime, all right? And this is when we had our first major blowout fight, all right? This is a very important turning point because our entire relationship was blowout fights, okay? But what's important about them is that they were literally out of thin air, okay? So this one was because we're eating our dinner that we made, okay? And I am looking at my phone, okay? Keep in mind, I'm not at a family dinner. We are on a couples retreat where we have spent every single second together for the past 48 hours. Why would I not be allowed to look at my phone? This is when he proceeded to tell me it's a major trigger of his for someone to not pay 100% attention to him at dinner time because that's what his mom used to do to him, all right? And his mom was very neglectful. He had a horrible relationship with her, and it was really traumatic. Obviously, everything is unresolved since she has died, and so anything that reminds him of his mother is a no, okay? And he went insane. I tell you, I have never seen a man like just pout and throw like a literal tantrum this way. I was like, how do I undo? I cannot be in a relationship with this man.
Oh my God, y'all, what? So if you haven't watched the video where we talk about the jealousy of males are jealous of women, I think that's the video that we did last week. That's where we talked about that. Go ahead and watch that video and get caught up right after watching this video, because that's like one of the first things that I mentioned. If he's yelling, if he puts hands on you, if he's aggressive, if he's throwing a tantrum, like, girl, he's jealous of you. That guy is psycho. He's psycho. He's not only jealous that you have free will, that you can do with the things that he's not able to do, but also wants you to literally replace his mom. And this is a universal issue with the male species. I don't know. They're just so subpar. They just never evolved. You know what I mean? So over 90% of them, and that's me being generous, walk around looking for their mom. At the age of 30, at the age of 40, 50, 60, that's what they're looking for, is a replacement for their mothers. Whether it be what they feel like they didn't get from her or what they feel like they want to keep getting, what they're going to go with is whatever is a replacement for their mothers. It's so freaking cringy and creepy. Like, oh, when I say, like, as I say these words, the pit of my stomach. Oh my God, disgusting. Anyway, so these comments, the ID that made him younger sent me. Yeah, wild. The cop literally was giving you signs. Exactly. That doesn't happen, but whatever. Like, literally, she just ignored it. She was like, oh, okay, sure. You know, my spidey senses would have been tingling. I would have been just like tossing and turning. Like, I would have been freaking out, y'all. Oh my gosh. Not the cop calling him out. Yeah, exactly. His family just at home being alive is actually so crazy. I never stop talking about it either. I would never stop talking about it either. Yeah. So his whole family is actually still alive, y'all. His mom's still alive. He said his whole family perished. He said his whole family perished in the same year in like 2021 or something like that. Y'all, it turns out his whole family is still alive, well, and kicking. He might even be paying them so they can stay quiet. Who knows? But I wouldn't be surprised if his whole family is not aware that he's walking around lying to people saying that they're all dead, y'all. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't even know that. Okay. So he lies about being sick and having this terminal illness. I can't speak, y'all. Potentially this terminal illness. He lies about that, lies about his whole family no longer being alive. And now he's trying to tell her when she can and can't use her phone. And I can tell she still has a long way to go with the pick me vibes, because notice how she said, okay, but we've been spending every day together and you're telling me I'm not allowed to use my phone. Girl, allowed? I mean, you can do whatever you want. What is he, your father? Like, what do you mean allowed? Girl, bye. So be careful, because before you know it, you're going to need validation just to use your phone, y'all. You're going to need approval just to use your phone. Basic human right. You're going to be looking for approval just to have basic human rights, y'all. For real. And then you're going to try to justify it. We've been spending, it doesn't matter if you've only spent 2 seconds together, girl. You can use your phone if you want to. You know what I mean? Like, let's be so for real.
So we just had our first major blowout fight. All right. And this is when I first found out like how he behaves in an argument, which was like a child. Like literally you could not talk any sense into him. It was so irrational. And it was just like you could not get through to him. There was no like compromise. It was like you just had to apologize, even though he was so unbelievably wrong every single time.
Okay, this is actually so important, because so many ladies will be looking for all the good things instead of looking for the red flags. It's the other way around. If you didn't know, well, now you know. So let me teach you something new, right? You're supposed to be looking for the red flags. That's what you're supposed to want to see. You're supposed to be looking for the argument. That's what you're supposed to want. You're not supposed to want all this fairy tale nonsense that is like easy. When things are good and they're easy. Great. We know that. We know you can do that. That's easy. So when you first meet anybody, what you're supposed to be looking for is that first argument. You're supposed to be looking forward to it. That's what you before making any assessment on what this person is like, you need to have an argument first, because you need to see who this true person is. And if you can handle that person's way of going about dealing with conflict. These are the things that are supposed to turn you on or not, depending on how they deal with it. Not the good stuff. Oh, he calls me. Oh, he texts me. Oh, he sets up dates. Yeah, great. Because when things are good, of course, it's going to be easy. Literally, And the funny part is the male species nowadays, they can't even do that, y'all. They can't even do things when things are good. That's why that would explain why women are just like running for the hills. But I digress. For those of you that are still stuck on this, it's like, be so for real. Okay. You're coming to me telling me how he does this and how he does that. And my first question to you is, are you high? Like, what? Have you guys even had an argument yet? Like, tell me what he's like when y'all argue. Tell me what he's like when y'all argue. That's what I care about. Okay?
Oh my God, it was infuriating. And the overwhelming common theme of all of our arguments was that I was worsening his trauma, and he can't believe that I'm so insensitive to everything that he has been through. I remind him so much of his mother, who was so horrible to him, and I should be way more sensitive to everything that he is going through. And of course, I'm like, I get that. You know what I mean? Like, the man lost 3 family members in 1 year. I'm like, he is going through a lot, so I have to give him like a little bit of grace. But it became a situation where I felt like I was like mothering this man. And like, if I did anything wrong, or if I like literally split my attention for even 1 second, he went ballistic because he was like a little infant baby child. I want to be sensitive to his situation, but it was like way too much for me to handle, because I'm already, you guys know, I'm emotionally unstable. Okay. And I have no business fixing whatever was like seriously very wrong with him. I would go out with my friends. Like, I remember one night I was at dinner with Tana, and he's blowing me up, like literally sending me novels about how he drank an entire 5th of vodka. He's going to drive. I need to get to him right now, or he's going to do crazy things. Like, it was just so manipulative. And I just like, I was not equipped.
I'm literally eating popcorn right now as I watch this, just so you know, girlfriend. Yap away, sister. I'm buckled in for the ride. Oh my gosh, the ladies are loving the tea. Yeah. I love it too. I'll be so nosy. Y'all, I picked my entire profession off of how nosy I am. Okay. I'm like, he did what? What happened? So I get it.
He was doing the whole rollout. He was like really getting in the zone. And I was just constantly there for like all the work that he was doing. And this album was special because it was his first piece of work that he was putting out since everything had happened and since everyone had died. Okay. And the whole album was about that, of course. As a part of his little press tour, he went on the Zach Sang show. Okay. If you are not familiar, Zach Sang is an interviewer. He does like huge celebrity interviews, and he gets really deep and talks about like life and music and everything. Zach is also one of his best friends. So Zach like knows his story very well, and he does the interview accordingly. Okay. He's asking like all the questions about his mom, about the funerals, about his brother, about his dad, everything. And he's answering, obviously. And he's talking about how he had to attend the funerals during COVID, and he had to do it via Zoom because of like everything that was going on. And
now, y'all, keep in mind that he's doing all of this and none of his family members are dead, y'all. They're literally all still alive. Do you know the level of psychopathy? Sociopathy? Y'all, what?
he is really just going in this interview in his Australian accent. And the interview comes out. I was staying with him at an Airbnb at the time, and I posted a TikTok with him in it. Okay? And in my comments, I started getting girls going, uh-oh, like, not him. And I immediately was like, wait, what? And I have a girl tell me, like, oh, by the way, he cheated on his ex-girlfriend with literally 15 girls. And before this, he had told me that his ex, who I Guess I'm in Love is about, by the way, one of the most beautiful songs ever. People use it as their wedding song. It's like, I mean, it's his biggest song. He told me that the girl that was about had cheated on him. Okay, so this was news to me. And I asked him about it. I'm like, did you cheat on her? Like, it was the most nonchalant thing in the world. He was like, well, yeah. I'm like, Excuse me?
Their projection on you. So all of the negative traits that they are and that they embody, they see you as a reflection of that. So it makes them hate you even more because they hate themselves. Does that make sense? It's like looking in the mirror and not liking what you see. So all of their negative traits, they'll project that on you, say that you're the one doing it because they're doing it and it's their reality. You know, perception is reality. So if someone's doing something and capable of doing something, of course they're going to believe that everyone's capable of doing that and everyone's probably doing that to them as well. There's no other way because that's the world that they live in. It's wild. His family definitely has to be in on it because they probably felt it was the only way to make it big. That's true because at first I was thinking I wouldn't be surprised if the family doesn't even know about it. You know what I mean? But now hearing her say this about the whole, because we're watching this together for the first time, as usual, y'all. But now hearing her say that he did this huge interview that millions of people would have watched and knew about, it's like hard to think that no one in his circle would have watched this interview. So it kind of makes it seem a little bit more likely that the family is in on it. And maybe he's even, you know, compensating them or buying them stuff or doing something to where the rest of the family is benefiting off of everyone thinking that they're dead, which is so wild, y'all. Crazy. Oh my gosh, this is exactly what I was telling y'all earlier in this video. You know, when you speak words out loud, you speak them into literal existence. I don't think people know how real of an energy that is. When you speak it out loud, be careful because you're literally speaking it right into existence and the universe will literally hand you that on a silver platter, regardless of what it is that you spoke. Okay. So be so careful, but that's so weird too. They're speaking it into existence without even realizing it. Yeah, exactly. No, for real though. I can't think of any other explanation for it though. Like who would go along with that? Yeah, definitely. I think that they're all probably in on it and even have a contract for it. Yeah. In his Australian accent. Wait, what? So his Australian accent was fake too? Y'all, I think this male faked his accent. I think his Australian accent is fake. Is that what I'm hearing? Y'all, that's crazy.
He was cheating on her the whole time. All right. And what I realized when I really looked into it is I was one of the girls because, like I said, he has been messaging me constantly for the last year, like literally sliding up on every single story I post, trying to fly me out. When he tried to fly me out to dinner that time, they were actively in a relationship. So I'm sick because, first of all, I feel like I somehow had like a part in it. And I felt disgusting about that. And just the fact that like I could never have imagined that he was like capable of doing something like that because of how like romantic he was and like what a love bomber he was. I was like, I what on earth do you mean? But he's a master manipulator. So he's telling me like I was so removed from that relationship long before we broke up and I should have just called it off and I would never do something like that again. And they were long distance. Like she lived in New York and he lived in Vegas. So it was like they really didn't spend a lot of time together. And like somehow the way that he described it to me made it seem like less bad. It was horrible. But I didn't let it go. And that was at the top of my mind. Okay? And again, we're staying together. So the next morning, I'm in bed with him when he is on a call with his manager. All right. And he is begging his manager, telling him, whatever it takes, I need you to have that interview deleted. And he's talking about the Zach Sang interview that I referenced earlier. Okay. And I am like, what's going on? I hadn't seen the interview yet, but Zach's one of our best friends. Like I was like, Like, what could possibly be in this interview that is so bad that he wants it off the internet? But, like Clinton's telling his manager, like, I don't care, like, just get it down. So in bed next to him, I get on my little phone and I go to the interview and I start to read the comments. And in the comments, I see someone write, "This is really strange. I don't know where this Australian accent came from. He is not Australian. He is from Brunei. I grew up with him. I went to school with him. And I saw his mom last week."
Oh my God. Goddess Lilith, Mother, save us all. The energies that be, y'all, I don't even know how this is traumatizing. I would be single and for B forever. This is like trauma for her. Like, so his accent is fake. And she finds out through that interview that, hey, your mom's fine. We grew up together. I literally just saw her last week. Y'all, I don't even have the words. I don't have words. I watched like a minute of the interview and the amount of times he switches his accent is crazy. Oh my gosh.
People ask me like, well, did his accent ever like go in and out? Like, did you ever notice that he like didn't have an accent? And truthfully, he almost never had the accent with only me. Okay. Like he would turn it on when my friends were around or when we're at dinner with people or whatever. And I was like, okay, slay. But like, he's a performance artist, but I didn't really think that much of it because obviously like I'm American and I just figured like he was like mirroring me. Sometimes if I felt like he was really being irrational, I would record our arguments because I'd like to show them to him the next day. He knew I did this, by the way. This is not illegal. And there's just nothing Australian about him. I'll let you be the judge.
It's uncomfortable. You can say it to fucking anyone else. You can go with 10 on say it. When I'm in that room, you don't. Because I'm saying it right now, I'm uncomfortable. You want to keep saying things I'm uncomfortable about? Keep going. I'm just gonna be like weirded out. I'm gonna be like, oh wow, that's crazy. Something I brought up to my girlfriend that I said was uncomfortable. She doesn't acknowledge it nor respect that I am uncomfortable about it, and she doesn't want to stop saying it, even though it doesn't demoralize her personality or her value.
You literally
no,
don't
it doesn't.
even know what
It
that
doesn't
means.
demoralize your personality.
What are you even talking? What are you talking about?
Here we go. Turn off.
That is not what demoralize
Here we go.
means.
Family abandonment issues. I could talk about all the fucking issues right now. So that just leads to like my relationships being like my head is so like confused all the time from these little things of like, I'm not gonna say it because I'm gonna sound fucking crazy, but I feel like some people relate. But just like little things they do or little things they don't do that make me like freak out in my little songwriter head, which helps with my job, but helps with having healthy relationships in life.
They will tell on themselves, and women decide to just not listen. What does he have against lip balm? Oh my gosh, y'all. It's like he's wearing braces, but he's not. I feel like he's always like trying so hard. You know when someone insists upon themselves? You know what I mean? Gotta love the accents that are always fading in and out. Exactly. I feel like he spits every time he talks. Oh my gosh. You can tell he used the pacifier for way too long. Oh yeah. I heard like 29 different accents. Yeah. He rambles because he's trying to come up with a conveying story while trying to remember to keep the accent going. It's literally insane. Oh my God, that's what I just said. I feel like the vibes I get from watching that is like why you having to try that hard. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Complete psychopath. Do I have any idea who Clinton Kane is? No. I'm watching the series though, and it's like part of my life. So yeah. Oh my gosh. Ladies need to wake up because what's really happening? It's like, how much can we really blame on the male when you actively delude your own self? You know what I mean? Like, get it together, ladies. Like, don't be so desperate for a Disney fairy tale that does not exist. It is unattractive and dumb, and you're going to end up looking and feeling stupid. Okay, don't do it. Don't do it. I saw his mom last week. When I tell you my jaw dropped, girl, yes. I was like, what? I gasped it. Like the cliffhanger had me in a chokehold. Right. Yo, this is crazy. He thought you were yapping before, and he just was not prepared for what he was actually asking for. He spoke that into existence, y'all. He spoke the yapping right into existence because y'all, apparently he made a video before she dropped all these videos. He made a video talking about her, saying how she's just yapping and whatever else. So she was like, oh, I'm gonna show you yapping, and went on to drop this like whole series about their whole relationship, like literally. So he spoke that yapping right into existence. So what did I tell y'all about speaking things out loud? When you speak it out loud, you speak it right into existence, okay? Wow. I have never been so engaged with a content ever before in my life. Like, what? I love you.
We have reason to believe that he is A, not from Australia, faking an Australian accent, and B, he faked the death of his family. Okay? And like I said, I was still mad about the ex thing, so I staged this whole fight and I get the fuck out of there, which was not easy to do, okay? I don't get to leave, remember? I go home and I get on my computer so fucking fast and I look up his mother, okay, which I've never done before. She has a very specific name, all right? And I looked her up on Facebook. She has 2 accounts, okay? And on neither of them has she posted since the date that she was supposed to have died. So in my head, I'm like, okay, it's possible she's dead. But it's also possible that she is not, which, like, you guys. But here's the thing, okay? He had told me so many stories about his childhood and his life growing up, and told me all about his mom and what she looked like. She was Norwegian and blonde, okay? He would tell me about what his house looked like and how they had nannies and maids. And he was so wealthy, and his mom would leave for months at a time because she also had, like, she had all these, like, crazy businesses in addition to her being a pastor. Like, I don't even know how in my right mind I, like, did not see right through this, but he would tell me all these elaborate stories. And now I'm looking at her Facebook profile, and his life was nothing of the sort, okay? I can see the house that he grew up in Brunei, by the way, not at all in Australia. Keep in mind, I live with this man and he has a fucking Australian accent. His mom is obviously Asian, as is he, which, like, why would you lie about that? It's such a strange thing to lie about. And everything was fake. So while I can't immediately tell that she is alive, I can tell that he is a extreme pathological liar.
OMG. Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking. This is so crazy. The fact that he's still going with the accent is literally insane. Oh my God. But what's the alternative? I feel like it would be even crazier for him to just stop doing the accent now. Like, I would literally die, y'all. Okay, let me not speak that into existence, but what? Oh my gosh, y'all. Crazy. I don't get to leave is so scary. Like, girl, what? Oh my gosh. Like, what do you mean you don't get to leave? You don't get to leave. You're not allowed to use your phone. Ladies, if you're using these type of words, there's something wrong. You need to go back and reevaluate the entirety of your life because something is wrong, because you're subconsciously choosing those words and that's coming from somewhere. So if you're subconsciously choosing these words, then something's up. Okay. Finding this out while laying next to him is wild. While literally laying in bed next to him, the trauma, literally, did his family just not care? And was he about what he was saying and saying that they're all dead? I think they were probably in on it, you know? I think that they were probably all in on it.
I now know that my boyfriend, who I've been with for several months, who I spent every single waking second with, has literally completely fabricated every single detail about himself. I know nothing about him. And as like lighthearted and like funny as I can make the story now, like I cannot explain to you like what I felt in that moment. It was genuinely the worst feeling I've ever felt in my entire life, because it was like I've never been obviously lied to in that way, but like I spend so much time with this person. He's my best friend. I'm in love with him. I am dating him. Like he's the closest person in the world to me, and he made himself up. And just like my nature, it's impossible for me to get rid of somebody. So I knew, like, obviously what I know, I have to break up with him, and I didn't want to. So I was like, what the fuck do I do? I know that sounds so dumb coming out of my mouth now, but it was like, I knew that if I had the conversation, I had to break up with him. So I was like, I wasn't even sure that I wanted to I almost wanted to just like pretend I didn't know. Again, I was unmedicated, but I did text him and I said, listen to me. I'm going to give you the opportunity right now to tell me if there's anything that you've lied to me about at all. And he racked his brain for all of 5 minutes before he told me I had lied about my age. I am 22 years old. All that, and the only thing he wanted to admit to was that he lied about his age. I confront him, obviously. I show up there the next day and I'm like, listen to me. This is what I know. You need to explain yourself right fucking now. And when I tell you this man is so good at his job, you guys, because here's the thing. I'm here accusing a man of faking his mother's death, okay, with no hard evidence. I have evidence that he lied about like the conditions in which he grew up, but I'm not sure that she's alive. So I can't like with full confidence like come at him in that way. So I'm kind of hoping that he just like confesses, and he doesn't. He made me feel so fucking horrible for ever possibly accusing him of lying about something like that, because who would ever lie about something like that? And I felt so disgusting and so guilty, and I literally could not, I thought I was going crazy. And here's the thing. I grew up very poor, and obviously I had like drug addict parents and stuff, and like he knows that, and I've told him a lot about that. So it was like weird to me that he would lie about, like, pretend to have grown up super rich. But I also know that like some people are like ashamed of the way that they grew up and stuff. So it's like, how am I really, I don't know why I'm making excuses for him right now. Like, why the fuck are you lying about how you grew up? Literally, why? For who? But I admit my fault. I stayed with him. Okay? I stayed with him, and I know I was wrong. I don't know what I was thinking. Looking back on it now, I'm like, are you literally kidding? But I stayed with the man. But I still had my doubts, okay? And now all of a sudden I'm watching him differently. Every single thing that he says, I just assume is a lie. And we're fighting constantly about everything. I remember one night he literally started hysterically sobbing because I said, as a joke, that Kid Rock was hot. Okay, part 12, get to the point.
Kid Rock, not Kid Rock. The lore is insane. Oh gosh.
I will spare you guys the details of how I found out that I was getting cheated on, okay? But boy, was I. Y'all have seen him. Like, was I wrong to think I didn't really have to worry about that? It's truly amazing what he was able to accomplish. But he was, in fact, cheating on me with so many people. Like, literally, and like I said, we spent every single second together. So if I, like, matched up the timelines, it would be like we were, like, laying in bed watching Bridgerton, and he'd be, like, sending a dick pic to somebody else. So that was something. And that is ultimately why we did break up. But what's interesting about that is we broke up because I accused him of cheating, and he couldn't believe I would ever have the nerve. He was fully cheating on me. Like, but can you believe that? Like, he broke up with me. Like, how embarrassing is that? I shouldn't even tell you that. But you guys know that story. I was a wreck. Not handled that well. I was not doing well. It was a really, really rough time. All right. But it was only then that I had the confidence to bring the mom thing back up again. So we're on the phone and I'm hysterically sobbing and I'm asking him, how could you do this? Blah, blah, blah. Do you need to be institutionalized, etc.? And I ask him, also, why did you fake the death of your family? And of course, he denies it. And I then tell him, I've been talking to your mother. I had not been talking to his mother, but that got him. He finally admitted that he did, in fact, fake the death of his mom and his brother. His dad is dead. Not that that's a good thing, but there's 1 out of 3 that are dead. The rest are still kicking. So I guess it's like a positive. If you think about all his songs about how he like just wishes he could talk to his mom one more time, it's like, call her. It has now been 2 years since we've broken up, and he had the nerve to post a TikTok today saying that I cannot let it go. And I just want to go on record and say, no fucking shit. Apparently his new song comes out on Friday, and the man will do anything to get a stream. So honestly, you guys, do him a service. He needs money for therapy. And if you take nothing else away from this story, just know that treating underlying mental health conditions is very important, because had I known what was wrong with me, I would have never gone near that man to begin with. Anyway.
Clinton Kane has officially responded to Brooke Schofield's 13-part TikTok series about him. And if you haven't watched it, Brooke details her super toxic relationship with Clinton Kane and shares that he lied about almost everything, including his mom passing back in 2020. And Clinton is now responding to this, and in his response, he told People magazine that him lying about his mom passing is untrue. And according to him, they only had a brief 3-month relationship. He also says the public rehashing of these details is only an attempt to bring focus on Brooke's podcast at the expense of tearing down another former boyfriend, a tactic she's become known for. I think the same PR team that's been filtering his comments definitely wrote this for him, trying to save his ass. Also, I don't believe she did this to promote her podcast with Tana, because this entire 13-part series that she posted at 1 a.m. was literally prompted by a TikTok that Clinton made, saying when you broke up 2 years ago, but she still won't stop yapping. Also, I can't find it now, but I literally saw another video of a girl being like, raise your hand if you've also been a victim of Clinton Kane. So clearly this is a pattern.
We love so hard, we know there's no coming back. Hearts don't feel, even if we love so hard, we know there's no coming back.
You ain't the only one. He was trying to see me at his show too. Y'all, this is like the 3rd or 4th girl in my podcast alone. I can't make this stuff up.
Actually, I mean, Chicken Tendies is actually about losing my mom.
I had to run the song back because I recognize the name, especially with everything going on. These are not lyrics I would write to my passing mother. I hope he treats you better than I ever could. Who? Jesus? I hope he's home for you even when I had to lose you. For you to find who fills your heart, even if I'm not the one you choose. Like, I'm embarrassed for this guy. Where I cooked your favorite food? I don't know. My mom's favorite food is salmon, but it could be chicken tenders. That seems like a girl thing. I don't know. And I was a fool, so say the word and I'll come running back to you. It's just, these are not lyrics to someone who passed away.
Chicken Tendies.